If you're tired of bush camping and ranked, getting full boxed, and instantly sent back to the lobby, this video is for you. I used to be that player, trapped, clueless, and praying for a third party to save me. But once I started practicing box fighting, everything changed. It gave me a foundation that allowed me to triple my skill, and by the end of this video, you will have the tools you need to master box fighting too. Box fighting is Fortnite's close quarters chess match, played inside just a few tiles. Every fight boils down to who owns the walls, the floor, and the cone. If you control those, you control the fight. The mission is simple. First, take space by replacing enemy walls or expanding your own so you decide where the fight happens. Second, create right-hand peaks. You can see them when they can't see you, which means you shoot with less exposure to damage. Third is deal damage without trading by using smart edit peaks, placing cones in their box to block jumps, and pre-aiming the spot they'll appear. And after hitting your shot, cut off their escape, reset edits, and use piece control techniques to trap them. Box fighting isn't just about crazy mechanics, it's about fast decisions, clean edits, and owning the right tiles. Control the box, and you will control the fight. To build strong fundamentals, start with full boxing drills to build muscle memory. Always favor right-hand peaks. You're harder to hit, and you're easier to hit other people. Track your HP in mats. If you are under 100 HP or lower in mats, do not force 50-50s. Instead, reset or escape. And audio is your best friend. Listen to people pickaxing and resetting builds, and then adjust your timing to theirs. Always build more than one box so you have more options. And if you're on high ping, play carefully to avoid risky trades. Piece control is about who owns the boxes. The more pieces you have, the fewer your opponent has. Your goal is to restrict them and leave them vulnerable to get shot. Full boxing your opponent is the ultimate piece control move. And to practice, use 2v2 piece control or mechanics training v5s. And when taking people's wall, which is basically replacing their wall with yours, use an offset swing, crouch, and vary your timing so you aren't predictable. Many good players will be able to pre-fire you otherwise. Place a build and edit for a right-hand angle or block their escape before they react. Okay, so a really good piece control basic everyone should know is basically, I call it pre-claiming cones, which is basically if someone's holding their wall like this and every time they break it, they're just spamming another wall, what you can do is when you break their wall, you place a cone right as you break it like this. So then when they replace the wall, they replace it, but you can place a cone as you break it. And also don't mind the mess in the background because I'm just moving in and I just built a new setup. So if you want to see me building my new setup, click the video in the top right hand corner. The best peaks come from keeping your exposure minimal. The peanut butter edit, a top right hand corner edit, lets you peek with almost no exposure while lining up a clean shot. Many people use the middle window edit, but this is bad because you also give your opponent a decent peek on yourself. So instead, do a right-hand window edit. Another huge thing you need to be doing when peeking is resetting your wall. As soon as you shoot, reset so that your opponent will have even less time to shoot you. Here's how you can practice this in Jiven's map. Alright, so now I'm basically just going to show you all of the main peaks in Jiven's survival aim edit piece map. I love this map. But if you want to practice, just go to box piece right up here. I'm going to do easy so I can show you guys the easiest way. So there's like a bunch of different peaks you can do. Obviously the most common being the peanut butter peak. You can go like that. The window edit, kind of go like that. Then you have some other ones you can go like downward peak. I usually like to do a window and then 2 double edits. Or what you can do is you can go like that and then kind of double edit like this, which is another good peak. And the next peak is like if you're 2 boxes, I like to do this a lot, where you have a wall like this and you can do like that. And make sure to reset, like I told you guys, reset edit peaks. Boom, he's dead. You can do the Martos peak like this, which is a stair and a floor, and kind of shoot like that. But I think that's way too simple, and I don't really like doing that because people can predict it, especially better players. So what I like to do half like this and do an edit like that. So you kind of have like a double right-hand peak. Then you can reset your floor, so if you miss or whatever, you are still safe. And that's my favorite peak to do with that. And I'm just going to show you right here, the last main peak is this right here, where you have on one side so you can hide on this side. If he runs up to this peak right here, which good players will do because it's a right-hand peak for them, like if you go right there, this is a right-hand peak. But you can shoot them way faster, so you can shoot and then reset and then come to the other side. That's just the best way to do it. Taking walls is a move that will either get you killed or get you a kill. This move is necessary for box fights because whoever has the walls gets to control the peaks, and they usually end up winning the fight. All you have to do is break your opponent's wall and place your own as soon as it breaks, but many good players will be able to pre-fire you, so here's how to do it the right way. So basically, instead of double swing, which is called double swing when you swing twice in a row like that, very predictable. Most players, as soon as you hit that second swing, they'll pre-fire you immediately. I like to either go on top, pickaxe once, and then become then pickaxe again. But you just really want to be tricky with your timing, because if you do obvious timing, they're going to be able to take your wall. You can take it from a safe peak like this, so that with the edit you can reset, and you can take it. You can usually break walls pretty easily, so what I like to do is if I get low with my shotgun, run up and do this, maybe run into their box 50-50 if they're already low. But the trick is to just be the weirdest timing possible, because if you do obvious timing, they'll be able to counter you easier. Phasing builds is another technique that will either get you a kill or get you killed. This is used when your opponent is holding their wall and you can't take it, leaving you in a stalemate. So instead of taking the wall, right when you break it, go into their box. This is mainly used when you already have an advantage, like if your opponent is low HP or they have no shotgun. This is very hard to learn, so here's how I do it. Okay, so the map I use to learn phasing the best is Mechanics Training V5. Go to the comp, phasing, boom. Like right before your feet hit the wall, no matter if you're jumping, if you're walking, if you're sliding, you want to pickaxe. So right before your feet hit the wall, boom, I'm in. Even in hard mode's obviously a little bit harder. The thing that I use the most actually in fights is I put a stair right here. So if I have a stair right here, put a stair, and I use the momentum to kind of jump forward, push you forward. Which, I mean, it is a little bit easier, but you're not going to have that in every situation. And then just practice all those different scenarios. If you're on top, right when your feet touch the floor, you pickaxe. Winning box fights isn't just mechanics, it's about playing smart. Reset baits are my favorite. Do a wide edit and reset instantly to bait a shot. This will cause them to shoot right when you edit, and then when you reset it, it will break your wall, giving you an easy shot on them. What you should mainly focus on though is trying to predict your opponent's next move. There are patterns you can see in many players, and once you learn them, it is super easy to counter your opponent. Okay, so here are some common patterns people will do when you're playing against them. The first one is just holding their shotgun out. They're mainly going to hold their shotgun out like this, so if you make an edit like this and you try to peek, they'll probably pre-fire you and then you'll trade, and then you don't want to do that. So if you see them holding like through the wall, if it's like lower HP, and you kind of see them holding their shotgun out before that, what you can do is like earlier, the fake edit reset, they're probably going to shoot the wall, then when they break it, you can just shoot them back. Or they're doing this, you can either run right here, because you're unshootable right now, they cannot see you from this angle, like you're pretty much untouchable if you're in that corner. You can go like this and try to take the wall. Or another thing you can do is you can kind of back up right here and just aim right there, because people are always going to pop their head up right here. Most people are going to phase if you're low HP or if they're just dumb. So basically people are going to phase like what I showed you earlier, the stair. This is the most common way people phase. So if someone's on your box, if they hit your wall, pop the stair, they're going to phase your build. So what you can do is if you see them do that and they're pickaxing your wall, the two ways you can do this is you can either A, flip the cone up and go out the side. What I like way better is I like going to the top, because then you're on height and then you can heal. How you start a fight often determines the outcome. Get an advantage before committing. Land a snipe, sneak a shotgun shot, or spare with your AR. Having this health advantage will allow you to apply pressure and end the fight quickly. Also, always start by boxing up immediately to claim space and protect yourself. When you do this, never just do one box, and instead build 2 boxes minimum. The more space you have, the more plays you can make. And if you get hit hard, fall back into metal boxes and heal up. But if you have the advantage, keep pressure high by using piece control. But do not start fights unless you absolutely need to. Only take one when you have an advantage, if you need a refresh, or if someone is pushing you and you can't escape. Defense isn't about hiding and healing, it's about setting traps and countering your opponent. You need to play defense when you are damaged or have little resources. So first, identify your opponent. Knowing where he is will determine your next move, and then after that you need to build several boxes using metal. This gives you more time to heal or make a counter play. And if your opponent keeps pushing, you need to get some counter damage on them. The easiest way to do this is by pre-firing them, which is shooting them the second they break your wall. Or you can just try to escape the fight by going to height, or just leave the fight entirely. And if they aren't pushing you, then try to heal up while looking where your opponent is so they don't sneak up on you. If you're on defense, you're gonna have to peek and play a lot differently. So first, you obviously want to build metal, or if they're like right here in this wall, what you can do is you can just kind of do the fake edit again. I abuse that way too much and it works all the time. But let's say they do get your wall, or they do get in your box with the phase. What you can do is you want to escape the box. Escaping the box, you can either do this, a good way to escape is to the back, because then they cannot reach you as fast. And then my favorite, like I said earlier, is just going straight up. If someone's on your wall, go above them. They can't really do anything about that, and then you can get a shot off or just try to heal. Most losses come from simple mistakes. Don't push recklessly without mats or health. Track your ammo so you don't run out mid-fight. Don't do the same peek over and over. Do not take 50-50s when you don't have to. When you have an advantage, keep it and don't play too fast. And finally, don't try to be flashy, just try to win the fight. Finally, here is a routine you can use to learn box fighting fast. Start with 10 minutes of piece control warm-ups and mechanics training V5. I pretty much just go to the bot, full box it, and shoot it. Then play one game of 2v2 piece control to help you transfer your mechanics into actual fights. This is the best map for learning box fights, and it's what I personally use to get insane at box fights. Just look at my stats. Finish with 10 minutes of Turtle Wars to build game sense against strong players. This is going to be really hard, but it's worth it. Stick to this routine and you'll notice yourself getting way better. You just learned everything you need to start mastering box fighting. But if you really want to take your gameplay to the next level, you need to learn piece control. And I've got a full video on it right here. Subscribe if you want to get better at Fortnite. Jesus loves you, and I'll see you in the next one.